If I hadn't been treated for moral injury or PTSD, I'd be divorced. And I would probably be bitter and filled with a lot of resentment towards the military. And I probably would be projecting a lot of that resentment to a lot of people who have always loved me. Therapy saved my life. My name is Dr. Irene Zoesch, and I served in the Army as an Army physician. I had a combat tour in Afghanistan. I have been driven to serve as long as I can remember. I was in the Girl Scouts. I was in a social service sorority, and I was a Peace Corps volunteer. So for me, I've always had a core value in service. The military is a calling to serve your country, and then being a physician in the military to serve the soldiers in the Army and their families. I was deployed to Afghanistan as a battalion surgeon. I was in a SCIF, which is a secured area, and you have the ability to observe activity in the city, like watching a television show, but it was in real time. And so when there would be an explosion, we, on the medical crew, had to wait to be told if those wounded met the rules of engagement. And the phrase that was used was entitled personnel. If they were entitled to that care, we would go and we would respond. But if it was not entitled personnel, we would not go out and deliver that care while we were witnessing the aftermath, the wounded that I couldn't help. Not being able to deliver care is in conflict with doing no harm, which is the core principle of being a physician. That creates a huge internal conflict. And that really is that crux of that moral injury, is that internal conflict. I left Afghanistan severely depressed. By the time I got home, I was acutely suicidal. Initially, I was treated for PTSD, and I got a little bit better, but I struggled being able to articulate things with people that are very close to me. I was stuck. And then as we explored other things with my therapist, we started to discuss what moral injury really is. Moral injury is the sense of having something happen to you that goes against your core values. I did do inpatient treatment at a VA women's treatment unit and started to talk about my experiences in the context of that conflict of the moral injury and the things that I witnessed. And that saved my life. I do feel more settled in myself. I'm coming up on 7 years of the same address. And prior to moving here, I had a different address every 2 years, almost 20 years of a new address every 2 years. I was always seeking something else. And once I kind of stopped looking forward and took a second to look back to address what I might be running from, then I was able to do more of that deeper work related to the moral injury. It's so much better now to be in a space where I have some roots, where I've got some stability. I am still on a mission to serve. I have not left the VA. My job is a lot of hats. It is oversight of all academic trainees and all research activities at our local VA and deliver care to veterans. And I would not have been able to deal with the stress of those projects if I had not had treatment and gotten better. I love working in the ED. It's something new every day. I love taking care of veterans because we all, at some point, had the same mission to serve our country. And so it's a thread that binds all of us together, regardless of what we did. It makes me feel happy to go to work. It sounds silly, but it makes me happy that I can pair up my values with an agency that has similar values.